What's poppin', Cougs? Welcome back to Coug on the Clock. Today's a special episode. We got it's Thanksgiving break. Hopefully you're having a great break. Hopefully you had a safe trip home. Hopefully, it's not too cold, too warm, wherever you're at. Today we're going to be doing a Zoom call because, we're not on campus, can't do it in the studio. I got a couple of my friends here with me. Let's start with on my screen. We have Gunner. We have Derek. We got Kat, Hunter, and Sam. Today we're going to talk about some NFL predictions of the Thanksgiving games, and we're going to talk about the Apple Cup coming up on Friday. So let's get into the show. Alrighty, so first topic, we're going to get into the NFL predictions. First game, we got the Bears versus the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm rocking Justin Fields. I'm liking his vibe. I'm liking how he's playing. Still not the top rated rookie quarterback statistically wise, but I think just because he doesn't have the same offensive line that Mac Jones does and the same weapons. So I'm gonna go Bears versus Lions. I'm gonna say 34-21. 34-21 Bears. Raiders, Cowboys. From the last show, I said the Raiders going to the Super Bowl. Oh, copyright strike. Raiders Raiders are not going to the NFL championship game. I'm gonna go with Cowboys, man. Let's get throwback to week 1 with Dak Prescott. Oh, Trevor wants to join. Let's see if we can do this again. Trevor's joining. You guys all know Trevor Junt from the weekend wrap up. He's been having a hard time connecting to our show, so let's just see. Well, Trevor Junt's kind of here.
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh,
we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't see you.
Hey!
All right. So also on the show, we have Trevor Junt down at the bottom. Right now, Trevor, we're actually going through our NFL predictions for Thursday's games. I said the Bears over the Lions, 34-21. Raiders, Cowboys. I'm going to go with my boy Dak Prescott. He's with Amari Cooper out because of COVID. He should be back come Thursday, I believe. So we will see, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys over the Raiders. Even though they've had a couple strange losses recently, I'm still going to rock with the Cowboys. I'm going to go – I like the score I said for the Bears. I'm going to say 34-21. I'm going to stick with that score. I like that score.
Because Amari's unvaccinated, he's actually not going to be available on Thursday.
Right, well, then Amari's not out. That's fine. He has CeeDee Lamb. He has
no,
Gallup.
He's in concussion, so it's Michael Gallup and then Cedric Wilson.
Yeah. We have the Bills versus the Saints. The Saints aren't super strong of a team this year, as everybody kind of anticipated they would be. The Bills have had some strange losses over the last few weeks. Lost to the Jags, lost to the Jets. Then they just lost to who did they just lose to last week? They lost
the Colts.
The Colts. Yeah, they lost to the Colts. So I'm gonna go honestly. Like I normally would say Bills, but I might go with the Saints. I kind of want to see them win. I want to see, like, as much as I love the Bills and I want to see them succeed and get to the championship game. I'm gonna put the Saints over the Bills in this one. So that's my predictions. Let's go with Gunner. What you got for your games?
So with the Bears and Lions, I agree 100% what you said with Justin Fields, but I believe he will be out for this game. I believe it just recently became official that Andy Dalton will be the starter. I do think still, though, agree with you. The Bears will win this one. Although the Lions do tend to play better on Thanksgiving Day, I do think the Bears will come out with this one 26-20. So I still feel like Andy Dalton will lead the Bears to this one, to a win. And then with the Raiders and Cowboys, with all the things happening with the Raiders, and they just haven't been playing well, and the loss of so many players, I just feel as if they don't stand a chance in this one, as I think the Cowboys are still a very hot team despite some of their weird losses. And one of them was to the Super Bowl runner-ups.
Well, that's the Broncos as well, which is kind of a weird loss.
That was a weird loss, but I still feel like the Cowboys are a very solid team, and I think they'll show that here on Thanksgiving Day, as they'll win 34-16, in my opinion. And then Bills and Saints, which I believe is the best game this week, or this day, I guess, in my opinion. You have, is Alvin Kamara is playing, correct? He should be playing. And he has big games on prime time. So I think that will continue. And I think the Saints will defeat a struggling Bills team. And I think this will help Josh Allen need to revisit some of his play style. And this game will show why he needs to get better. And I think he'll get better with a loss to the Saints. I believe 20-17. So those are my predictions for today and Thanksgiving's games.
Are you saying right now that you think that Trevor Siemian will tear apart that Buffalo Bills defense?
No, I think Alvin Kamara will. I would never believe that as long as he plays solid and they give Alvin Kamara the ball, I think that the Saints should win this. And I like I said, it was 20-17. I feel like it's going to be close, so anything can happen, obviously.
All right. Well, that's conversations. We have next up Derek. Derek, what you got? Your mic is muted, Derek.
It's still muted.
There you go.
All right. I apologize for the leaf blower in the background here. For the Bears and Lions game, I really don't see that being that entertaining of a game. I haven't seen either team really be that capable on offense. So I think we're going to have a fairly low score game of like 17-10 with the Bears coming out on top, because the Lions are not going to win a game this year. They did tie one, but they're not getting that far. Like, they're not winning it against anybody, especially not on Thanksgiving.
0-16 in one season.
Yep, they can still go 0-16, so that'll be funny to watch. Raiders, Cowboys, that game really does interest me because, with all the things the Raiders have gone through this year, like losing their coach, losing Henry Ruggs and all that stuff, like this has been just a crazy year for them. They still have a pretty good team, and they put good games together. And Dallas did not have a good game last week. Dak definitely didn't have a good game. He hurt my fantasy team a lot with that, putting less than a point. But thankfully, I had Jonathan Taylor, though.
Did you see the offensive line for Dak? Like the edge rushing was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to watch Dak's last game, but I just saw that he only put up less than a point for my fantasy team. But I had Jonathan Taylor to back me up on that. So he put up the production of 4 different players. So
yeah, right, it's ridiculous.
He was good there. But and then the Bills Saints, it's been pretty well known that I like the Bills, and I'm a pretty big fan of the Bills. They're like my number 2 team. So I definitely see them picking it back up in this game. Thanksgiving prime time, they're gonna just come out and show why that they were picked to be the AFC favorite this year, and they're gonna win probably by a lot in that game. I want to say like 36-14 in that game. Okay. That's what I want to see.
All right. And that's last game, right? All right. All right, thank you, Derek. Let's go down to Kat. Kat, what you got for this Thanksgiving's Turkey Bowl games?
So I don't really pay attention to the NFL that much unless it's the Green Bay Packers. But I will say that I agree. I think the Bears could definitely beat the Lions. From what I've just seen, there's just, I don't know. The Lions just don't look particularly great. I'm going to go with the Cowboys for Raiders versus Cowboys. My mom's from Dallas, so I have to – she likes the Cowboys, so this one's for my mom. And then the Bills and Saints, I don't know. Both of them haven't had, like, the best years, but I'm going to go with the Saints on that one as well. I like college sports a lot more than the NFL, which Alex, you found out when we did our show. But yeah.
We'll get into the next topic will be That's Where You Shine. So we'll go to Hunter with his NFL predictions. Mr. Twitch
So
streamer.
Twitch streamer, twitch.tv/H9. Just go check it out. I'm gonna say the Lions get their first win of the season this week against the Bears. I think that Matt Nagy has been very underwhelming in the last few weeks, and Chicago's kind of turning against him. So if they beat the Lions, it's not gonna mean anything. But if they lose to the Lions, like Chicago is going to riot against Matt Nagy. You already saw it with like the Bulls game last night with Matt Nagy or the Fire Nagy chants. Like, I think that the Bears will get overconfident in this game, and the Lions, like, they've been in a couple close ones, like with the Ravens game where they lost on the 66-yard field goal. Like, they should have won that game because they missed that delay game. But I think that the Lions are gonna win. I'll say 17-13, a pretty boring game. But 17-13 Lions.
Or a really exciting game with a bunch of turnovers and just no offense.
Yeah, zero offense, but also the defense isn't good for either side either. So it's just going to be tossing the ball back and forth, a little bit of a turkey bowl, like a backyard turkey bowl. Raiders Cowboys. I'm gonna say I don't see the Cowboys losing 2 straight games. They're still one of the top teams in the NFC, I think. And the Raiders have had so much controversy this year that I don't think that they're ready to play. Like, they need more with an interim head coach. They aren't gonna be good on a short week and everything. So I'm saying Cowboys for that one. We'll go 34-20 Cowboys. And then Bills at Saints, that's the one that I think is going to be the most interesting one, because the Bills, I think that if they play good, they could run the Saints, but I think the Saints always have the capabilities to always stay in there. Like, Sean Payton will always keep his team fired up. So I'm going to say, I think if it's a close game, the Saints win it, but if it's more than a 2-score game, like if the Bills get anything started out early, then the Bills are going to win 28-17.
Okay. All right. You heard Hunter's picks. Let's go to Sam. Sam, what you got going this week?
All righty. So for the Detroit Lions hosting their annual Thanksgiving game, I think they avoid going 0-16, granted 0-16-1 yet again, and they get the win 20-16 over the Bears. With Andy Dalton in, I don't think the Bears just don't have that swag to go in and disappoint Detroit fans yet again on Thanksgiving. So I think the Lions get it done. 20-16. In Dallas, I agree with many of you that the Cowboys are among the best teams in the NFC right now. They've had some weird losses this year, but I still think they have what it takes to take a disgruntled Raiders team and make them very, very sad, to the tune of 24-17. I think Dak Prescott, he's just in his return, he's looked really dominant. And although he's going to be missing a few targets, I think he'll have what it takes to get it done. For the primetime game, I'm going to take the Bills over the Saints. The Bills they haven't had a lot of good luck in recent weeks, but I think they really turn it around. New Orleans, devastated by the loss of Jameis Winston. They've been playing some okay games, and I believe, Sean Payton has what it takes to keep them in any game that they play. But I think the Bills they really turn on the focus, especially if the Patriots passing them in the standings this week. They really turn on the focus in that locker room and come out and win 31-28.
All right, here we go. We got next up Trevor. What do you got, Trev?
I'll keep this short and simple. I think the Bears are losing with Andy Dalton as quarterback. The Lions are going to beat them. They're not going to go 0-16-1. They'll win probably like 28-21 or something like that. And then the Raiders and the Cowboys, the Raiders are not good. The Raiders are going to get killed by the Cowboys. The Cowboys are probably like one of the best Super Bowl contenders in the league, to be honest. So I think the Cowboys will win that game probably like 38-14 or 17 or so. And then the Bills and the Saints are not good, in my opinion. Their defense is good. Their offense is garbage. They have no wide receivers. I don't think Sean Payton is that great of a head coach, first off. And I think Sean McDermott, the Bills head coach, is really good. Along with Josh Allen, they're going to tear apart the Saints. Probably win 31-17.
Okay. Very quick. That's easy to go. So with that, let's move on into our next topic. We're going to talk about the Apple Cup coming up on Friday. Very exciting game, big game. 2 interim head coaches for UW and WSU. I'm going to say I think WSU has this in the bag, honestly.
Not jinx it, Alex.
I'm not gonna jinx it because I probably am. Because every time I root against us, we win. Every time I root with us, we lose. So you know what? This is the test. I think we're gonna beat UW. All right, we're gonna beat UW. I don't think they have a great offensive game plan at all. I think WSU wants get the mistakes out of the way because we do. We have those mistakes the first quarter. We get those out of the way. I think the second half definitely will pull through. So I'm gonna go WSU or UW 28-24. I think that's realistic. So I'm gonna go with WSU. Go Cougs. Gunner, your turn.
All right, I have a bit to say as a Coug fan for most of my life. Playing the Huskies has never been fun. As long as I've watched it, as many of us, I know Kat has been a fan longer than me, so she knows the pain. And I'm gonna go into my gist of the game. Basically, Wazoo has not won the last 7 contests against UW. Or 9.
9. Oh wow.
Yeah, well,
that 9's about to be a 0.
Yeah, so it's almost been a decade. It has almost been a decade.
Hey, calm down a little bit.
Yeah, but this is the first time 2 interim head coaches are playing against each other, so that should be an interesting story to follow within that. And then in my mind, if WSU wants to win this game, they need to stop the run. UW's offense has consisted of mostly run offense because Dylan Morris, the QB for UW, has not played well this year. So if we know UW is not going to have a strong pass attack from the get-go. We just need to stop the run, which we have struggled with this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how that handles out. And with Dylan Morris, he was actually pretty well. He was really good he was a solid quarterback last year. It's just kind of interesting to see how much he's kind of fallen off this year. But I truly believe that if we can stop the run, we could win this game. And I think we're going to stop the run, as my prediction is 24-21 Cougs. I normally do not pick the Cougs to win this game. The last time I picked them to win was when Gardner Minshew. I truly believed that we would win that game. But this year, I do actually feel like this is going to be a close game. And I think it's going to be a great game in Seattle. And I'll be there to watch. So it'll definitely be exciting. But I also have to take this from an analytical standpoint. You have UW, who's coming off one of the worst years they've had in a long time. And they want to try to get over that. And with a win against slightly better in record WSU team, if they can win this game, it would sort of be an exclamation point to their season because they are not going to a bowl game. They are not bowl eligible, even if they do win this game. But I feel like there's definitely more on the line for the Cougs, as if we can win on Friday against UW and Oregon State can beat U of O, we are actually in the Pac-12 championship game. So there's a lot of stories to follow within the game. Yeah. And hopefully we can end this drought against UW, and it'll be exciting to see. So that's all I have to say on that.
All right, perfect. Let's go over to Derek. Derek, what's your predictions of the game coming up?
All right, so like everybody else who's talked so far, obviously I want the Cougars to win this game. I'm done watching nearly a decade of losing to these guys. I'm ready for us to win. It's our time. This is one of the better matchups I've seen in a while for this game for sure. But the thing I'm really looking forward to watching is the third quarter of this game. I really do think that the Huskies and the Cougars will be pretty evenly matched through the first 2 quarters. But I think whoever's ahead at the third quarter is who's going to win this game, because you saw it in the last game against Arizona. They kind of just went off in the third and the second half and just kind of took the game away from them and took them completely out of it. And that's the same thing we need to do to the Huskies. Just get their spirits completely down, get them out of this game, and just leave no doubt and win by a pretty big margin. You need to win by 42 to 14, so something in that area, and just leave no doubt about this and make it so that they never wanted to show up. They never should have showed up. This is the time for the Cougars to win, especially with a Pac-12 championship game possibly on the line.
Okay. All right, sounds like Cougars cross the board so far. We got Cap coming up. Cap, what you got going on Friday?
I mean, we haven't won in now going on 9 years. I mean, we didn't play last year because of COVID, but I sat in the 2012 Apple Cup when we won in overtime. I was there for that. It was a great game. I'd really, really, really like to be able to tell my Husky neighbors that we won the Apple Cup. I've made it really clear. I think Jimmy Lake was a bad hire to begin with, and I think they made the right decision in firing him. I think it's going to come down to really which quarterback's going to show up too, because their short quarterback, I mean, they have a 5-star recruit sitting on the bench from Kennedy Catholic that they redshirted. So I think Jimmy Lake with UW kind of screwed themselves over. And now they have this kid who is not the best. And we have Jaden Delora. But I think at the end of the day, it really just shows it's going to be come down to which quarterback shows up. But also keep in mind too, Jimmy Lake had Mike Leach's number for a while.
Mike Leach.
What's up?
Mike Leach is not Dickert though.
Yeah, I was getting there. Mike Leach isn't here anymore. So I think it really comes down to also, are they going to learn to adapt to the new style that we have? Because we also have an interim coach. So I think it's really going to also come down to that, but then also our defense. I mean, if you get Jahad Woods and just kind of let him run around the field, I think we're going to be fine. I'm not going to say who I think is going to win because I hate the Apple Cup with a burning passion because I get so anxious, but I love the Apple Cup because it's the Apple Cup. So I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I think it really kind of comes down also to who's going to be ahead in the third quarter, like Derek was saying. But I also think, if we let Max Borghi just run, UW can't keep up with him. So I think if we let our receivers and our wide receivers and our running backs just run, I think we have a pretty good shot. And I think also it was a really good sign that when UW played Oregon, UW couldn't really stop. Well, they could kind of stop their run game, but we're not necessarily like the same offense as Oregon. But I think it's also going to come down to, again, who wants the Apple Cup more. I think WSUs seem like they want the Apple Cup more, but at the same time, we wanted it when Gardner Minshew was here and we got beat. So I think it's going to be interesting. But I think WSU now knowing that potentially, like Gunnar was saying, there is a Pac-12 championship game in contention. We just got to pray that OSU beats Oregon. But I think if it's going to be a year for us to go to the Pac-12 championship, it's going to be this year. It's a Cinderella story. If it's going to be a year, it's going to be this year. So I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to watching it. And I think at the end of the day, we just got to pray that there's no interceptions. There's no fumbles on the 1 yard line. And I think we just got to pray that our team keeps the ball, secures the ball. And at the end of the day, just let Jahad Woods run. And I think we'll be good.
Sounds good. Hunter.
So as a former Husky fan myself, I used to love the Apple Cup because in my lifetime, Wazoo has only won the Apple Cup 5 times since 2000. But now that I'm Coug, and I don't talk about that team that's in Seattle, located at Husky Stadium. Now that I go to Wazoo, I'm looking at it at a different angle. I think that this year has been a really it has been the opposite years for both of these programs. UW went into the season ranked, and they had their worst record since 2015. And Wazoo went into the season with 0 expectations, and they're playing for the Pac-12. They have the potential to play for a Pac-12 championship now. It just shows that something was off, and the media was predicting it this year. I think that also with the 2 interim head coaches, you can see the difference in the response that UW has had versus Wazoo. Wazoo, yeah, the players were bummed to lose out on Rolovich, but they also rallied around that and created a winning culture. Sorry, the dog's barking now. Hey, but they have realized who they can be. And UW has kind of seen the opposite of that. So I'm going to say Wazoo wins it. I think that it's not going to be, dude. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as the highest scoring Apple Cups have been at 56 points. Thank you, Wikipedia. But I think that Wazoo is gonna win it pretty handily if they just get their stuff done, dude. If they just get their stuff done.
Hold up, what's the dog's name?
Harvey.
Fan favorite dog, Harvey, man.
Go Harvey. I think Wazoo wins 41-20 this game. I think they're gonna have a good game.
All right.
After all that, we got through to the final score.
All righty. Let's go to Sam. Sam, what you got going for Friday's game?
All righty. So the Apple Cup is going to be a very exciting time. As has been well documented, the Cougars haven't won since 2012, 9 years, 7 matchups. And the Cougars haven't scored more than I think 17 points in that time span. So the Husky defense has had the Cougars number for Jimmy Lake for much of that. But now Jimmy Lake's gone. They have remnants of the scheme, of course, but the Cougars have a brand new look, and this will be a good opportunity for everyone involved to get that win. As a member of the Cougar Marching Band, I can tell you the trumpet section watches the fourth quarter and overtime from the 2012 game before every game as we get into our uniforms. And I cannot wait to watch another fourth quarter sequence from this year, next year, and then hopefully another one after that. And so it's super exciting. The Cougars are finally on the up and up. We have a chance to play in the Pac-12 championship, and even if not, a chance to play in a pretty decent bowl game. I want a free we get a free trip depending on where we go. It'll be super exciting. And so so I'm going to take, I think Max Borghi, he set a career high in rushing last week, 139. I think he's going to top 100 yards this time rushing. And I think the Cougars finally passed the 20-point mark in the Apple Cup for the first time since 2012. And I think they win, let's say 34-20. Go Cougs.
All right, there we go. Go Cougs. Last but not least, definitely not least, Trevor Junt. What do you got going on for Friday's game, man?
Absolutely not least. When I think of right away, I can't mention it. They have Sam Hewer just sitting on the bench for no reason. Dylan Morris is not the answer at quarterback, so they have to fix something there. And then going back to also what you said, Chris Peterson was the coach that really dominated Mike Leach in that era. Jimmy Lake has actually never coached in an Apple Cup, and neither did Nick Rolovich. So I believe that they're the only two head coaches never to coach in an Apple Cup, coaching for WSU and UW. So that's interesting. But I think as long as we force Dylan Morris to pass the ball, he's going to make mistakes. He's not a good quarterback. UW isn't even that good of a team. I think Jake Dickert has kind of blown me away too, by the way. Going into it, playing BYU, we knew that they would be ranked. They fought in that game. I think they lost 19-21. That was a really close game, and they really fought to stay in that game. I was impressed by that game, and then it moved on, and they just kept winning and winning and winning, and now we're here. And I think Jake Dickert will help build this program up into a better program. So I think this is the start of a new era, the Jake Dickert era. I think they're going to win this Apple Cup, probably 41-17. And just blow away the Huskies. The Huskies are not good this year, and we need to rub that in their face. We can't really let them bring it back up. We just got to step on them and then just kind of smash our foot on them.
Okay.
One thing too, sorry Alex, but didn't UW lose to Arizona?
No.
They almost lost. They were trailing 13-0, and they barely won.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I think that's kind of telling that we kind of beat the snot out of Arizona, and UW struggles against them. So, but they're both awful teams. So they're both bad.
UW also just lost to Colorado too, which is not a good look for them. Now 4-win Buffalo team, but yeah, that is not a good Colorado team that they just lost to.
Okay, so do you guys think that this would be the game that we see that 5-star recruit for UW come in?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Well, because Jimmy Lake was the one keeping what's his name?
Sam
Hewer. Well, the problem is that he's a redshirt. So he's already played a couple quarters, and with redshirt rules, if they want to burn his redshirt, then sure. But I don't really know if it's worth them. I mean, look, if you really think about it, if you decide to start Hewer next year, he has 4 more years of eligibility. But if they keep him on the bench, I honestly think he might transfer, but I don't think he will because his family literally built a dynasty of quarterbacks at UW, and he's just like the extending quarterback dynasty. But I honestly don't think that they're going to burn his red shirt for the Apple Cup when there's no bowl contingency. They don't have a shot at the Pac-12 North. They'd be stupid to burn his red shirt.
Wait, so red shirt is like only if you play 4 games or less.
No, they changed it to quarters. So there's a certain amount of quarters.
If you step in at all, then it counts as a quarter.
Yeah. He's already stepped in a couple times. So.
Okay. There's no reason to burn that red shirt then.
No, there's no reason to burn that red shirt. And like Hewart played against my high school, my junior or senior year. I don't remember which one. It was a while ago, but I've watched the kid play in person. He's a really impressive, really impressive quarterback. But I think it'd just be a dumb idea for UW to burn that red shirt.
Yeah.
Especially since you sign him, and it's just dumb to burn a red shirt on someone who's so talented. If UW ever decides to start him, then we're going to be screwed quarterback wise. Like they're going to go off. But I think at the end of the day, it's just dumb for them to burn the red shirt when they've already sat him most of the season.
And risk injury too.
Right. I mean, it's just not a good idea.
This game. Like the only thing they're getting from this game is pride, but they have nothing else to play for.
Yeah, literally nothing to lose. And I think injury. There's too many factors. There's too many cons to burning his red shirt or like letting him start in general. I think it's just a bad idea on their part.
Yeah, and one more thing I would like to say about Jake Dickert is I don't know if many people know this, but he recently just had a interview with Pac-12 about why he really wants the job with Wazoo next year and beyond. And I really liked what he said. He said he feels like there hasn't been a culture to WSU in a long time, like a really good culture, really good, like around at games. And he wants to bring that back. And as a Coug fan, I really appreciate that because as a coach who wants to bring a culture back to WSU, which I felt like we have not had with Rollo and arguably Mike Leach, in my opinion, I feel like that coaching culture is something our student athletes really need for the future of the school. And I would love to see Dicker as our coach. I really feel like he's proven himself. And I really feel like this game is the game to prove himself 100% to not only the state, but the nation as well.
Culture
sorry, go ahead. Who's talking?
Culture as well, man. So at that game just this Saturday, the student section was full. It was so loud, and it was awesome just to hear.
Yeah, I feel like we just have a winning. We're starting to have like you said, the new culture. We're having a new culture already. We're seeing that culture shock, especially in the intense weather that happened Saturday. Me and Trevor both on the field. We got to see it. It was very, very exciting. We get to, and it's exciting to see that there's already a culture starting to change. And I bet you next season, every game is impacted, guaranteed.
I certainly hope so.
I sat in Martin Stadium since 2001. I was not even a year old. And I've literally sat through Mike Price era, Bill Doba, Paul Wolf, Paul Leach, Rollo, and now Dickert. I will say when I was younger, the student section was packed the entire game. No one left. It was packed. And now, coming to WSU and now seeing people leave at half. And I was always taught you stay in your seat until the band is the alma mater.
Yeah. Right.
Because my mom does not leave games until the alma mater is played. I'm not kidding you. There'd be times where we're the only people there and we'd still sing the alma mater. So I think it's really cool to kind of see the tradition in the community that my mom had when she was here start to come back. And I think, Gunnar, you make a really, really good point because I don't know if you guys felt it, but just at football games since Dicker took over, there is a different attitude. There's a different atmosphere. And since I'm also intern in the athletic department, there's a different attitude within Bowler itself amongst the student athletes. And I think since football is kind of like the pivot, the point, I forgot the word, but like the center of athletics at WSU, once we get that culture at football, we're going to get it at basketball. We're going to get it at volleyball. We're going to get it at soccer. We're even going to get it at swim. Please go support the swimmers. They are my favorite human beings on campus. But I think you're just going to see this culture start to spread throughout. And I think I think it's a really good thing for the university because we haven't had that in a very long time. And I think you're also going to see that start to get into the classrooms and kind of get back the community of what WSU really is rather than what it isn't. And I think Dickert understands that WSU means a whole lot more to people than just a football team.
Yeah, 100%. And when you have, I will say one more thing, I'm sorry, but when you have like, I felt like at the beginning of the year with Rollo announcing to basically the nation that he was not getting it vaccinated, you had a lot of negative energy coming towards WSU, and you had a lot of people not agree with that necessarily. So when you kind of got rid of that toxic like media and all that like toxic talk, I felt like that really helped. Like when Dickert came in, like there was not as much noise as there was when Rollo was the head coach, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I also think that
I completely agree with that, Gunnar, because like I have a brother-in-law who's a pharmacist and he went to WSU and he's a huge Coug fan, all that stuff. And he just completely stopped. He stopped watching Cougar football because Rolovich had that whole vaccine thing and everything. And then as soon as that was gone, like he got his spirit back. So I do think that added to like Kat was saying, like how the culture has gotten a lot better since Rolovich left, and the team doing well obviously had a lot to do with it too. But I do really like I like the change that I've seen throughout this whole season with how the crowd's gotten better. Like that Stanford game on Parents Weekend was a incredible game that really just turned the season around for the Cougars, and that added an extra element of fun to this whole season. And so it's gonna be a lot of fun this Friday. I can't wait to see the Cougs just invade Husky Stadium and just get a sea of red in that stadium, and just leave no doubt at this Friday.
All right. Well, let's kind of going off culture and tradition. Just real quick, I'm gonna go around just kind of see what's your favorite Thanksgiving tradition to have with maybe just yourself or your family. Let's go with Gunnar first because I'm honestly still thinking about mine. Honestly, I'm totally.
What was the question again? Sorry.
What's your favorite tradition that you do with your family on Thanksgiving?
Honestly, like me and my mom and my sister like to cook, and then me and my dad watch football, and then we all come together for the night game and eat all the good food. We have appetizers. Just honestly, being with the family is just a big blessing in my mind. Just being home for the holiday and just celebrating with your family, it's just a great blessing and something I don't take for granted at all.
Yeah. All right. I guess mine is I'm not gonna lie. Thanksgiving, not a big hype for me. Like the food, like food wise, it's not like I'm not a big poultry person. I don't really care for turkey, So I do mashed potatoes. Like the one time of the year where I get like a lot of mashed potatoes. Love mashed potatoes. So love mashed potatoes. But we always kind of before we sit at the dinner table and we go around the whole family. We each talk about one thing we're thankful for or a couple of things. And then we all we dig in. But that is a tradition that I'm probably gonna carry on to my family in the future. But yeah, definitely the thankful circle, I guess you can call it. Derek, what's your favorite tradition?
Kind of just the same thing. Like, I get together with my family. I got a pretty big family. We used to actually have like a 40-person Thanksgiving because my mom has 6 brothers and sisters, and they all used to come, and they all have like at least 4 kids each. So it was always just kind of a crazy time. We'd get like 40 people in our house. Now, like, and ever since like COVID, we just like downsize it to just immediate family now. Yeah. And that's honestly a lot nicer. And we get to spend like just a lot more like just good fun times with each other and just watch football and catch up with everybody who I haven't seen in a while because my family lives all around. But definitely get to eat some smoked turkey. My dad started making a smoked turkey now, so that's been ever since he started that we go all in on that. So that's the thing I love most about Thanksgiving is that smoked turkey, and then the gravy my mom's actually making right now. It takes 3 days to make, so I love that food on Thanksgiving, man.
There you go. 40 people in the house. That sounds like a fire hazard. Let's move on to Kat. What's your favorite tradition?
Well, most of my family's in the South, like Texas, or Arkansas. So we don't really have I don't really have like a big family up here, but my favorite part is I'm really close with both my grandmas. Both my grandpas passed away a couple years ago, but I really like just spending time with my grandmas because I don't get to see them that often. And I haven't seen one of my grandmas since before I studied abroad. So it's been over 6 months. So I just like spending time with my family and with my grandma. My dad and I are always, I always somewhat help my dad in the kitchen. I'm not the best cook on the planet. But I try to help. And if it's fun just being in the kitchen with my dad, just hanging out. But I also have a lot of food allergies. So I can't really have like a lot of the Thanksgiving food. But I will agree with you. Mashed potatoes are my favorite. Mashed potatoes with almond milk sounds really weird, but it's really good. What? And it's like eating mashed potatoes and watching football. And then we always watch White Christmas at the end of Thanksgiving, like the Thanksgiving Day, because that's my dad's favorite Christmas movie. So we start the holidays early around here sometimes.
Is mashed potatoes with almond milk, is that a sin?
Wait, what am I supposed to do? I can't have milk. Like, I can't have milk. What am I supposed to do?
Before the personal attacks start up, Hunter, what's your favorite tradition going?
So I've got a couple of them. In like 2017, I started doing a turkey bowl with my friends who played football with me. So like,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I do that we always go to my high school. And every Thanksgiving in the morning, we'll do that. You can always see whoever won on my Instagram, instagram.com/hsnights. And then I have some family that lives in Ellensburg. And my mom has a lot of siblings too. So it's everybody goes over there to my cousin's house in Ellensburg. And we have a bunch of people. It's been shrinking a little bit because of COVID. But it's super fun doing that. I'm not a big eater myself. Like, I don't know, I'm not a big turkey guy, and also I love potatoes, but mashed potatoes aren't really my favorite thing. I don't know why. I'm a texture guy, I guess. Yeah, but I just like seeing everybody for Thanksgiving. It's like fun catching up with them because you only really get to see your family, like your extended family, a couple times a year. This year is gonna be kind of weird for me because this is the first time my sister won't be at Thanksgiving because she recently just moved to London.
Wow.
My sister and I are super close, so that's gonna be a little bit difficult, I guess, for me. But she's coming home for Christmas, so that's gonna be cool. But I don't know, it's just kind of like the entire atmosphere of Thanksgiving, I guess. Like everybody's home, everybody's happy. Like, yeah. Also, right. we got the dog back now.
Cue the
Harvey.
Alrighty, Sam, what's your favorite tradition you got?
So there's not like a particular tradition, although there are several, but really just my favorite is just getting everyone, or not everyone in my family, but most people in my family together. On my mom's side of the family, we're centered around the South Puget Sound. So we get together in either Olympia or Tacoma and have Thanksgiving dinner together, spend the afternoon and evening together. My family has this one stuffing recipe that they've passed on, at least from a few generations, and it's really, really good. And then prior to Thanksgiving, in recent years, my immediate family's begun watching the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is just a Thanksgiving classic. It's with Steve Martin and John Candy. It's really, really hilarious. So I'm sure many of you have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to see it.
For sure. Trevor, you got any traditions?
Yeah, I mean, like, not really. Me and my family just like spending time with each other. So, I mean, usually from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we just spend all day together. We cook food on Wednesday, like we get food ready, prepared. Then we cook it on Thursday and eat, obviously. We watch football together in the Junt household. I mean, what else is there to do besides watch football and love Jesus? We watch a lot of football. And then one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving, though, is my grandma makes dressing. And the dressing is just like unbelievable. It's like some of the best food I have all year, and I look forward to it all year. So yeah, that's I'm excited for that this year as well.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, with that, we wish everyone from Cable 8 and Unorthodox Sports, wish you, the viewer, a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy the rest of your vacation. Be safe on Black Friday because it's just people get crazy for commercialism. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. Like and subscribe. We'll see you when we get back. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Cougs.